Okay, I have a question for you.
All right, what's up?
Why do you want to get into content?
The reason I wanted to do it in the first place was to kind of help other people figure out what they want to do. And I kind of want to help people, a lot of more like young people specifically through that process, especially people who like want to think of success as like their metric or whatever for living their life. But success just means kind of like more money or more prestige, more status.
What's your definition of success?
My definition of success, I would say living life with like no regrets, or being able to wake up every day and be like excited about doing what I need to do, or like live. Yeah, does that make sense?
So then right now, does David feel excited to wake up in the morning?
Yeah, right now, yes.
Why?
Why? Having ownership of all the work that I do and having a lot of impact with the things that I do every day. And you don't really get that in like these big fancy jobs, even though you get paid a ton. And I think that I just have a lot more impact doing the things I do right now. And I'm able to define what I want my life to look like, basically.
So is content an afterthought for you, or is it something that you've been planning on?
I've been thinking about it for maybe like half a year at this point. Just because I think this is one of the most ways that I would have direct ownership of what I work on and how I can impact other people. Because I'm just, they just watch my stuff. You know what I mean?
If somebody was to see only one video of yours, what would you want them to take away? How would you want them to feel after they watch one of your videos?
I think that what I want them to be able to do is really ask themselves, what do they really want out of life beyond all the material things like money, status, and be able to live and do things that are truly fulfilling to them. And that's different for everybody. But I think that sometimes a lot of people forget to like look at themselves in the mirror and really evaluate and reflect on their life for what they want, not what is deemed as, success or successful in society. And so I want each video basically to be a rendition of that, where they're able to, whatever I say or whatever the topic is I talk about, they're able to kind of think about it and apply that to their own lives in order to get them one step closer to where they would really want to be for themselves, not for other people or for material success metrics.
I have one more question for you.
All right.
What is your biggest piece of advice to people who are struggling career-wise or identity-wise right now? No matter the age.
You need to do things that are where you have fun in the long run, but you're also obsessed in the short run. So I think that whatever you choose to do, definitely you should have fun with it and make sure that you are fully enjoying and feel fulfilled with whatever you're doing. But that also doesn't mean that you're kind of just doing for whatever, just straight up for fun. It's like you have to be so in love with it that you have to also still be obsessed in a way where you're obsessing over every little thing because you enjoy it so much, not just enjoying it for the fun of it. Does that make sense?
Actually lied, I have one more question.
Okay.
Or sorry, I should say that in the mic. Actually lied, I have one more question.
Okay.
Why do you think that learning just to learn is meaningless?
Yeah, so my friend told me that yesterday, 2 days ago, when I called with him. And the whole reason was because I was telling him about how I was thinking about going to content and starting my own business with all the AI tools and stuff nowadays. And I told him one of the reasons was like, even if everything fails, like I have these skills that would have been built up to lean on, right? Where content is becoming such a big deal and AI is becoming such a big deal, right? And then he told me he said, learning for the sake of learning is meaningless to me. And basically the whole idea he was telling me was the fact that you should be doing things just to do them, right? You should have this goal where you want to achieve something. And in the process of trying to achieve your goal, you will learn the things that you need to learn. But learning social media just for the sake of saying that you know how to use social media, or learning how to use AI tools just to say that you can learn it or use it, is inherently kind of pointless, and you're not actually like really gaining anything from it. especially if you're trying to pursue something like fulfillment. And through just doing the things that you want to do, you should be learning the things that will then be directly relevant for the goal that you're trying to pursue or who you want to be.
Do you want to know why I have the opposite take?
Yeah, why don't you agree with that?
I think that learning for the sake of learning is a great thing.
Yeah.
Because regardless, honestly, if whether you have a teacher or a mentor or not, learning something just to learn, I think is good because you don't actually know what you need to know.
Okay.
You could find out something just by learning for the sake of learning that you never knew was something that you either excelled at or that you love, that you're passionate about. You could even say learn something within content that you didn't realize was a very specific avenue, that's something that's more fulfilling to you than your original purpose of wanting to pursue that. There's so many things to learn that I feel like learning for the sake of learning, the only thing that would be bad about it is if you perceive it as a waste of time, but I really don't think it is. Because there's so much out there. How can you even actually know if what you're learning is useless? You know what I mean? And to your point of like, oh, you don't want to learn just for the sake of like knowing something.
Mm-hmm.
But my purpose for wanting to learn is not to know something. My purpose for learning something is, the song is great. My purpose for wanting to learn something is to broaden my understanding of other people's experiences.
Okay.
And so that's why I disagree.
Okay. I think I agree with you, and I think that in a lot of cases you can, just learn things because you think are interesting, and that can, benefit you in the long run in ways you don't know. Like, I've decided to look into psychology, for example, because I thought it was interesting.
It's pretty good for mental elasticity.
Yeah, that and just the fact of being able to apply psychology in literally like everything you do, pretty much, right? Especially if you're working with people in general. But I think the biggest point is still like, the fact that...
Does that make it worse?
Alright, we're good. I still think that you should follow a main direction because if you just try to like learn everything, you end up kind of learning nothing. If you're just straight up learning everything you can, right? You still want to pick something that you really, really want to do and be intentional with that thing. But then that doesn't mean that you can't branch out, right?
I guess it would depend on your goal.
That's also very true.
Cameraman's fucking it up right now.
Cameraman, put it on yourself.
Okay, but wait. Do you know that? Yo, turn the camera around.
Turn the camera around. Hey.
Hey. That's a voice now. Okay.
Hey.
Okay. Do you know the saying, jack of all trades, master of none?
Yeah.
You know the rest of it?
No.
Jack of all trades, master of none, but often better than a master of one. Everyone else forgets the rest of that saying. And to be honest, one of my main sources of income right now was something that I never intended on learning.
Uh-huh.
But it's also something that I like thoroughly enjoy. To this point, obviously it's not my main goal, but I would have never figured out that it's something that I also love to do unless I learned something just for the sake of learning something. Because one day I was being stubborn about making my own flyer and I didn't want to pay somebody to do it. So then I was like, actually, it's probably a good skill to have too, even though I was like, at the end of the day, it's going to be a waste of time for me. Like the convenience of paying somebody $50 to make me a flyer versus me spending hours and hours on doing it myself. Like, really, what's the benefit to me other than saying that I did it myself? You know what I mean? So to a lot of people, that's pointless. But from that, I realized that I can do that for other people. I realized that it's really fun to me, and that's now probably one of my main sources of income. Graphic design for other people.
Okay.
So I think there's a good balance, though.
I do agree with that. I think that if you're in a stage where I guess you're happy with where you're at, but you're also kind of like want to be more exploratory and try different things. Like trying different things, I think is definitely like everybody should do that and open more perspectives to life. I think for sure. I think in the case that where I was talking about with Faison specifically, it was more like if you know you have one goal that you really want to do. Like in our case, it was like I was talking to him about starting a business and using these tools to build something that's like generational, right? It's like he was telling me also how you don't get another chance at this stuff. Like it's very unlikely that there's gonna be some crazy like AI tool or some crazy content blow up in the future as well. So if you get this one shot to do these things, you should be very intentional with how you pursue that goal. If you're dead set on it, right? But if you're in a stage where you're comfortable and you want to look at other things, I think that is a very valid viewpoint as well.
TLDR, learn everything you can, but not at the expense of your main goal.